What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Man, yo, I hope everyone is staying safe, staying quarantined.
I mean, yeah, if you have to.
No, even if you don't have
probably
to.
most people do.
At this point, I don't want to see you outside unless it's getting groceries and coming back in.
Right? Like, I had to get dog food before, so I just went out for that and came back.
So
it's
because we're so tired of talking about the coronavirus, we hope that this, well, not that we hope, we know this episode, after this intro bit, is going to be coronavirus free.
It'll be a reprieve.
Because at this point, everything, we couldn't even really have topics to talk about this week because everything's just about coronavirus.
That's all that's on. And it's exhausting, man, because it's like, I feel like I'm thinking about this from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's just on my mind. And it's exhausting. Like, if you wake up and that's like the first thing you think of, it's exhausting.
Yeah, I'm exhausted too because my stocks are down, so I'm even more depressed.
Okay.
Yeah, no one can relate.
Trust me, we can talk about our depression with all this, but I'd rather not.
No one else can relate. But as far as stocks goes, no one can relate. Because I'm sitting there talking to my friends. I'm like, damn, my portfolio's down. And everyone's just like,
yeah, but
man, that's
like
the whitest thing you've ever said. I'm like, guys, don't be that rude to me. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, but that's like saying people I know can't relate to the whole business thing. I mean, it's true, but it's like, whatever. We're all going through our stuff right now. Everyone's messed up in some sort of way.
It's so weird.
Because it's like, even if you work from home or whatever, like, yeah, that's cool. Like, you're probably happy because it's like, woo, you don't have to go to work. But like, it comes with different problems because it's like, what if you need to go get groceries and then you can't get groceries because they're out. And it's like, everyone's going through something. And like, usually most people know some kind of immunocompromised person, whether it's that they're older or that they have diabetes or asthma or like something. Mm-hmm. So then there's that it's like, if it's one of your loved ones and you have to stay away, and it's like, everyone's kind of, it messes everyone's life up in some capacity.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to my friends, and like, normally this doesn't happen. Like, 'cause normally states have their own issues, whether it's like a tornado or earthquake or crazy snow. So like, everyone's in their own like bubble. Right. But when I can talk to my friends in like Kansas and Florida and Massachusetts and Michigan, like, everyone's just dealing with this, and it's just like interesting because like, this doesn't happen when everyone's dealing with the same issue all at once. So it's cool, but it sucks.
Cool. Jeez, I would not call this cool. In any capacity.
But yeah, I mean, other than this, I think we're gonna kind of dead that coronavirus talk.
That is a terrible way to put it.
We hope that within like the next few weeks that this ends, and hopefully we don't have to keep bringing up the coronavirus in the episodes, because it's kind of like,
let's just put it as a part of our past.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
it'll be in the history books, but let's just keep it there.
Yeah. But with that being said, guys, I'm Shadell, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
And we're feeling good, feeling healthy.
Knock on wood. I don't know why he said that out loud.
Oh man,
don't jinx it.
All right, so I want to talk about Love Is Blind. So if you're not familiar with it, it's this new Netflix show that came out, I believe, around like Valentine's Day last month.
Oh yeah.
And man, we watched one episode together, and I was like, I can't get into it. It wasn't really my cup of tea. And then you kind of stayed on for the long haul of the whole series.
Yeah.
And there was a couple couples that like made it, and a couple couples that didn't make it, and a couple couples that are just like in limbo. Well, probably one.
Apparently there were more that got engaged, but they weren't like on the show.
Interesting.
Because I've been watching like interviews and different stuff. I think 8 total couples got engaged, but then they followed 6, I think it was, in the start.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, because they had, just like, apparently to begin with, there were like 50 of like people in the pods, and then that got cut down to in like half when they realized like people just weren't meshing. Like, there was more of course there was more we didn't see.
Yeah, they probably took out like the weird people. Especially and all that stuff.
Yeah, like with the pod stuff, they really sped it up. Because I guess they were in the pods for 10 days, which I didn't realize. It didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that, it was like the first episode only was like the pods?
Oh, let me kind of say that. Yeah, so if you're not familiar with the show, They start off in pods and they don't get to see each other. They go into like these pods, the guy and girl, and they talk. They get to know each other through these pods.
Yeah.
And then when they're ready, the guy proposes to the girl, and then when they're getting ready to like what do you call it? Propose, I guess. Mm-hmm. It's the first time he's seeing her, and vice versa.
No, they propose. They have to be engaged before they see each other.
Okay, so
they propose through the pods.
They propose in the pods, and then they see each other. Yeah, they're like, "Oh my God, this is who you are," and all that stuff. And you got to see their reaction, and then they bring it to. They go on, I think, vacation first.
Yeah,
so they get to know each other,
so that they can build the physical intimacy.
Yeah, and then they have the wedding, and then they go on their honeymoon.
Well, no. Then they come back to real life for like 3 weeks before the wedding. Okay. So it's back to like normal life. They see each other's apartments. They go into a joint apartment, and then they, do the wedding planning, and then they have to, have their answer at the altar whether they're going to get married or not. Like that's part of the contract. They have to say it up there. Plus, part of it is when you're in the pods and when you're on the vacation, you don't have a cell phone. You don't have access to internet at all. There's no computer, no TV, no nothing. Like literally,
no distractions,
you're just like you're in it.
It's like the circle. It's similar to that. Yeah. Just you're not,
Like I said, it's The Bachelor, Married at First Sight, and The Circle all put together. Yeah. It's like literally that. And I think an article I was reading, they actually compared it to Married at First Sight because I think there were similar creators, if I'm not mistaken, which makes a lot of sense.
It's similar.
Yeah. But also they said it was funny because they went into the show and the producers and stuff, they were nervous because the intent is that people are going to get engaged, but you're not required to. So if like things just don't pan out for you, like you could just leave, like you don't have to get engaged. So they were like, we don't know how many, like if this is even going to work out, what if no one gets engaged?
Yeah, that's spending all that money for what?
Versus Married at First Sight, you're going into the show doing that. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I'm not sure how much you want to talk about this. So spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, if you plan on seeing it, you may want to fast forward a bit. If you're not, stick around. I know the only couples I know is Lauren and what's the other guy's name? Something
Cameron.
With a C? Yeah, Cameron. Like they're like the spokespeople for like
this place. They're so cute. I mean, it's partly because they're interracial, but like the other parts are just adorable.
And like I was like, as you were watching this, I kept like peeking, and like it was interesting when Cameron was having like the talk with like Lauren's dad. He's like, "Have you ever been like in a room full of black people?" And it's like. Yeah, and I guess like his last relationship or something like that.
Yeah, he's been in a long-term relationship with a black girl before.
I'm like, okay, I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
It's interesting. And I guess my question watching that show is love really blind? You're gonna take a long ass.
I didn't realize that was all you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna go into like something else.
It was a question for you.
It's funny because they asked that, of course, on all the interviews, and I feel like these people are like contracted to like say yes, but I don't know. I've always gone back and forth with that.
I'm on the fence with it.
Yeah,
'cause I'm not sure because you could say, look at shows like Catfish where even though you're being catfished by someone that doesn't look like the person, you're like you fall in love with like their personality if that's who they actually are.
Well, that's part of it. I think as a catfish, I think you're also portraying like another being, like you're not being truthful.
It's tough. I don't really believe love is blind. That I'm like going back and forth with it because let's say, for example, let's talk about like in our beginning of our relationship, if we hadn't known what we looked like and it was just going off like voice and like and personality and stuff. That's one part of it, but I feel like the other part is like having that like physical attraction to that person.
I don't know. I go back and forth with it because I've always said that I was a personality first person. Sure. Like I'd always be attracted to the personality over the looks.
Sure.
Why do you say sure?
I never believe that like when people say that.
How do I say this? I mean, no, not for you. I just don't want to be hella insulting. But
I'm not gonna say. Dog,
I've
I
always
can go out with some guys right now, and we could see what it could happen.
What?
Nothing.
No, I'm saying in general to be nice. You know that like I've put personality first.
Yeah, but was that because? I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this.
See, you know where I was going with
so I'm
it.
not trying to
okay?
be mean to like just people in general, because I don't care about the people that you're thinking of. But like, is it because they approached you with it, or because you were like, oh man, I'm young, I'm yeah.
Well, okay.
And the words here goes a line from Lloyd Banks for those that know rap and G Unit. He says a line, I'm young, dumb, full of cum. So was that the reason why at the time you were like, yeah?
I was not expecting.
Was that the reason why
sorry for
you were sitting there like,
people.
Like, man, this guy's interested in me. He's not really a looker, but hey, I like his personality.
No, because what happens to me, we grow the personality part first, and it's almost like we grow a friendship first, and then thoughts will start and be like, like, what if we, were in this, or what if we did like, and like, I'll start looking at a person differently. Like it's this process. Okay. Like, cause for example, my first boyfriend, we met in art class, and I don't know. We were friends for like most of the year, and I just started to become attracted, and I just started to wonder, and I started to get giddy, and it's kind of a process, and then and then I asked him out, and it was the most nerve-wracking like thing of my life. And then after that, second boyfriend, I don't remember who approached who first. We were connected on Facebook through a mutual friend, but I can't remember who messaged who first. It might have been him. And then, we were just like talking for a while, talking. And then like, we were like, hey, want to like meet in person? And we did that. And then, the rest is history. Like, I don't know. It just.
See, I look at things differently. Maybe because it's like women it depends on the woman you are, I should say.
Because women are nicer and more open and not all about the physical, sir.
No, but
it is like stereotypical though that like men are more about the physical.
Okay, I'm gonna say something that's you're probably gonna see it as rude.
Oh, here we go.
So we were just watching Dr. Mike. Goddamn.
I mean, if you wanted to pull a Magic Mike, I'm not opposed.
Okay, but you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say with you saying that.
Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna say right now, I'm pretty sure Dr. Mike there, I could probably feel like I can plot out his type, because I know how a guy would operate, and I kind of feel like the vibe that he would be like pulled to.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's no way in hell he'd ever want me. I know that.
That's why I'm like,
that's the funny thing is like, I could be attracted to that kind of type, and I could be attracted to how he looks and stuff, but I get that vibe too, that it's like, oh, he's over here like successful doctor, works out all the time, freaking models on Instagram, like all this different stuff. Like there's no way he's gonna have like a fit little number.
Pretty much. She's either going to be like just very like she's going to be very smart, or I could
that's what I was going to say. She's not going to be dumb. He's going to want a smart one.
Yeah.
So it's not some like bimbo, but like the package, like
yeah, pretty much.
I feel because he doesn't have anyone yet. Like, and I feel I don't know his dating experience or life, whatever, but like I feel like because think about it, like I feel like he doesn't have time for like settling and stuff because he is so freaking busy and like all this stuff. Doctor, so it's like right,
you're and you're on call and all
right,
that stuff,
and you have this whole like status.
Yeah,
and it's like,
and especially when you become like a social media influencer, I guess you could call them. Like you're kind of just like people know you and yeah. But
but I totally get that vibe. I get that.
Whereas, why do I feel like this? This is gonna be so interesting. Okay.
Okay.
So like women have this thing where like they see an attractive guy, like, oh man, this and that. But I'm like, in my mind, as a guy, I'm like, he probably isn't gonna want you. But
right. But we could like their looks. That's what I'm saying.
That's cool. But in my mind, I'm trying to be very like specific on what I'm gonna say with this. In my mind, if I was to see, it depends on the girl. So I gotta like, it depends. But like, The one that comes to my mind. I have two that come to my mind as random thoughts,
two.
as random women that just come to my mind.
Oh, he's got random
of like who I
women
could
as
think,
well.
how I can like preface this to you.
Okay.
So let's say if I found like Janae Aiko and Ivanka Trump attractive. The two different spectrums. You gotta follow what I'm saying. You gotta follow.
I was not expecting that. I expected the first one, and then you went to the second. And I was like, wait.
Do you? Janae a little bit, but not Ivanka. Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna be shook.
But I have to give you like a spectrum. There's certain women that I'm like.
I got you.
If I was in Janae's circle, I'm like, oh, I'm for sure we could have like
right.
clicked up and all that stuff. But like if I was in Ivanka's circle, I don't think it would have happened. Like there's certain things where it's like I can look at a girl and be like, oh, yep, I already know. Like if I'm around that person, it's gonna happen.
What? How they are? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like how, like if there'd be like an attraction there, if they would like me, vice versa. I kind of feel
I'm
like
not that way. I'm just not that way. I cannot. I'm not. I've never been that way. Even with crushes, even with people who didn't evolve into like dating and it was just a crush. I've never been that way where it was like immediate and where it was like I know either way. It was always a progression. Even with crushes, like it's usually would be friends, like people I have some sort of connection with, and then it would just be like this thought, and I don't know, it would just start like it wasn't. It would never be. And that's the funny thing is when I see a hot guy, even when I was single, when I would see someone who was hot, in my opinion, it was actually the opposite. It was never where, oh, like we're gonna get together or whatever. It was usually like, oh, he's hot, but like we'll never be. I don't know. And maybe that was a self-esteem thing back in the day because I just, it was usually like.
See, it's funny what you say about crushes because to like go with that, I feel like the crushes I had back then, like the two I could think of, I'm like, maybe didn't like me at the time, like how I liked them type of thing, as like a teenager or whatever. But now, as an adult, I'm sure if you were to check with those people, they'd be like, yeah, I dig it.
Right.
But I'm like,
it's really funny. I think of a couple different crushes I have. One, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad it like went nowhere. But then there's another, and it's like it would have been so interesting, right? Because like I don't know exactly what he's up to now, but I've seen like online you see like either their Facebook profile, LinkedIn, whatever, and like he's just always been a very smart guy and like just has gone places, and like it's very interesting to see, and it's like, oh, you wonder like, wow, like how would have life would have been completely different. Mm-hmm. That's the gag too, is again, I always think everything happens for a reason. If I didn't date who I dated in the order I did and when I did, you and I wouldn't have been together. Mm-hmm. Like flat out. And if I didn't break up with the people I did when I did, like it literally.
Yeah.
Like, and it's wild to me. Mm-hmm. Because something as small as like if we broke up a year earlier or something, you and I probably never would have gotten together.
Yeah, probably not.
Because things wouldn't have happened the same. Like like that's wild to me. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Back to the Love Is Blind thing. Like I don't know. I've always been a hopeless romantic and thinking like, like I believe that people can end up together if they're like on a blind date or they're set up or like things like that. I believe that stuff happens. The whole I'm thinking of Love at First Sight. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking of more so instead of Love Is Blind. Love at First Sight, I always went back and forth with. I always wanted to believe, but I don't know because everything starts with infatuation, obviously. Like, you don't love a person immediately. Mm-hmm. You're, infatuated with them and intrigued and lusting over them and stuff like that. So that's the tricky thing is like no one loves someone immediately. Like I see you and oh my gosh, he's just the best person on the planet. I would die for him right now and I knew him 5 seconds ago. Like that doesn't happen. Yeah. But I mean the beginning of love at first sight, I guess. I mean I've heard it. I've heard it before of people that I've had brides who come to me that they just knew like on the first date. They just knew that this person was going to be the person they were going to marry. They can't explain it to me, but that was it. And then it ends up happening. And woo, happily ever after. Like, so I've heard it. So I know that that's a possibility. I mean, with you, I didn't know. But after our first date, I sincerely hoped. I mean, hell, it was in our vows. Like, my little story. So, like, yeah. I mean, I guess I believe in that. But the whole, like, blind, I don't know.
It's
I mean,
tough.
I get what you're saying. And I think that's why they do the experiment this way. That, like, you still have to obviously get a physical connection.
I feel like what the thing is, because you can sit there and talk to someone without knowing their face and what they look like, because you create an image with that voice in your head of like what that person's gonna look like. But it's tough. Like, I don't think I could ever like fall in love with someone just off their voice
That's
and then later
the funny
knowing
part.
their, like everything else.
That's the funny part. Yeah, voice is weird because I think I'm used to either like you'll text until you'll meet, or like even a webcam or something call before you meet, or like, so there's no voice barrier. There's no like, I don't see you.
Yeah. And even when you're like online dating, it's like, yeah, I don't know your voice. Like when you first like,
right, but then
don't know
it's
the person,
text, so it's like you get the whole package.
you
when
get
see
like
them.
an understanding of like,
Right.
okay, this is how the person talks or something.
But then you're focused on the personality versus the tone of voice. Because I think that changes things too. Because it's funny. Because with Lauren, I don't know if you saw, I think it was in the first episode, one of the guys was like, oh, are you black? Like, you sound black.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And she was like pretending, she's like, what? And I love how she like put on her white voice and she's like, what? What are you talking about? Like, yeah. And,
yeah.
so there's that kind of misconception too, where you can, I guess, be bigoted maybe if you have to like hear someone and you assume that they're a different race and you're not open to that. I assume the people going into this had to be open to anything.
You would hope. But I don't know why you would ask that, because I think I saw that and I was like, why would you ask that? Like, why does it matter?
Right.
Like, the whole point of Love is
She's
Blind.
like, well, this one's a no.
Like, the whole point of it is so, like...
that it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that
like...
it is based on the person. Which I totally respect that, because like I said, for me, it's a very, like... it's based on the person. And I think that's why you and I ended up together. Like, even... because... yeah, it's like, again, this was my first interracial kind of experience, but it didn't matter to me. Yeah, I was curious and I was worried in the beginning because I you know, obviously outside stuff, but like as you, like I didn't really care. Like,
yeah,
that wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm just gonna not respond because I see your profile picture.
Dog, it hurt me. Yeah, I told you this. I always say this because man, I think it was like either probably within a month before I messaged you, or somewhere within that time, a month or two, where like I messaged like some girl with whatever, and then like she hit me with like a, sorry, I don't date black guys. I'm like, well, this is...
I mean, I know it hurts, but at least she was honest.
Dog, just
like,
don't reply to me. That always bothers me from this day. Like, just don't reply. Like, you don't gotta tell me.
He's gonna go back and find her.
It's not like it's not like I'm sitting there like constantly hitting the girl back and be like, hey, hey, like every day. It's like, hey,
and be like, why not? Why not?
I messaged you once,
right?
And then you come back like you know, a day or a week or whatever later, and you're like, oh, sorry. I'm like, okay, should I just stick to just messaging black women that I see? Which is hard because on online dating, you don't really see a lot of black women on there.
Well, maybe that's changed too.
I'm not sure. I would never know, and probably would never know in my life.
Yeah, that's right. You won't know because you're not going on there, right?
Only for friends.
Yeah, that's what they all say. I love that. I love how on dating websites you can put like, oh, I'm here for making friends. Why are you on a dating site?
Yeah, I never
then?
understood that.
There's probably friend sites, okay? Like, why are you on a dating site?
Yeah.
That's such a like cheesy thing.
I'm like, okay, I just won't message you then. One thing I do want to talk about with Love is Blind is the Carlton and Diamond thing. That situation like bugged me the most.
Okay, and I want to get your perspective because I've seen different stuff now that I've been watching stuff after the show too.
What does that mean?
And like the reunion I watched and the like interviews and just different stuff. So I'd like to get your perspective, not knowing as much as I know.
Okay. Oh, am I just speaking? Like,
yeah.
Just like,
yeah, because I want to know what your thoughts are that you're thinking of right now.
I mean, I only know the parts I like was in and out of.
Yeah.
Which I don't get why he was so like stuck on that whole thing of like him being bisexual and having like men as partners. And I get there's a stigma depending on what woman you're with. She may feel some type of way with you being with guys. But like that should have been something you say like from the beginning. And like if she doesn't like it, she doesn't like it. All right, cool, move on to the next. Like if someone doesn't accept you, like not saying you're gonna go out and cheat and find a guy and stuff like that. Just like if that's something that bothers you and he really felt like he had to get this out, but he never got it out. He should have said it. That's my issue.
So when that whole argument happened, what were your thoughts? Like, were you on someone's side, or like what did you think?
I don't remember what the argument was. Wait, when they were by the pool?
Yeah.
I wasn't really paying attention to that. All I saw was him pulling the ring.
Okay. Because that was the whole thing people talk about. And at first, what was I? I think at first I was more on her side. Wait, no. Was I? Whose side was I on at first?
You're probably on hers, I would think.
I don't remember. But anyways, after seeing how stuff unraveled, he's definitely toxic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were on his side thinking she went about it wrong, or like she escalated it and she said some dirty things first and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. It was definitely an argument where they both were messed up, but he's like toxic because he has some issues he has to work through first because, yeah, just how he handled the whole situation. I understand. I get that people's journeys, they're all different processes and lengths of time, and you got to do your thing. But like you said, something like that definitely should have come out in a pod. Sure, you don't have to tell all 50 people the moment you meet them. But once you start to narrow it down to like 3 or whatever it is, I mean, I think you should tell that because that could be the decision maker for someone, and someone be like, all right, cool, I'm out. Mm-hmm. And wouldn't you rather it be then when you proposed, you're engaged and you're on this vacation and now it's awkward?
Yep.
Like, and just the way he kind of handles things and the way he doesn't see his part in this. He like, even in the reunion, like he was focused on her part in it and blaming and like all this stuff, and just the way it was very ew. Like, I don't like it. Like, she was able to open up. She was able to own up to what she did and all that kind of stuff. But I don't like how he was very deflecting and very like pushing it onto only her and being like, look at poor me now, I worked so hard to come out of this closet and now I feel like shriveling back in and all that. I get that stuff, but at the same time he was just very, I'm the only victim here. Mm-hmm. And it was just not handled right, and I can see how he's a toxic person.
Yeah,
like at first I felt bad for him, but I'm like
Yeah, I feel like the consensus from what I can remember was like they both had their own things happening.
She was just trying to understand is the thing. Like where he's coming from and why he didn't tell her.
I don't know. I can't speak for the man, but all I know is that was just like a situation that could have been avoided, but he needs some therapy. We'll say that. Needs someone to talk it out. Because he still has has some stuff going on that hasn't really worked through, and it just needs to be worked through.
He just seems manipulative because even at the reunion, at the end, he ends up, because of course, the hosts are asking like, where do you guys see this going from here? Are you going to date again? Or are you going to be friends at least, or blah, blah, blah. And you could tell she just really kind of wants nothing to do with it, and I don't blame her. Mm-hmm. And he literally has the ring still. He went and got it from the pool.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
And he literally, so he gets down on one knee, says, I'm not proposing. This isn't like a proposal. But he's like, he tries to do this like apology thing and basically say how it's like he wants a friendship or whatever and like that kind of thing.
So why are you giving her the ring?
Yeah.
Just say like,
it was
I would love if we could have a friendship.
It was
together.
extra. And it's one of those things that to outsiders looked adorable and nice and, all this stuff. But I think he's manipulative. Like, ugh.
Get out while you can.
Pretty much.
All right. So, the day that we all have been waiting for. I'm sure you know this by now. I think, we talked about this. So, Harvey Weinstein has been sentenced to jail for 23 years, where he's probably going to die.
Yeah, how old is he?
He's old. I don't know exactly, but he's old. But what's interesting is, after he was sentenced, he was hospitalized with a heart issue, and he had to be, sent to the hospital, all that stuff. I'm like,
does he have a broken heart? Oh, I'm so sorry.
This guy.
For him.
So,
What? Tell him why you're mad.
There needs to be some type of like law or something for like men or women to like. Okay, we know that like I think in most states, if not all, it's illegal for you to pay for sex.
Okay.
Probably in most states. So it should also be illegal for like certain things where like okay, so if rape is like me forcing my will against you and all that stuff, all that, like someone not consenting, that's bad. You're going to jail. All that stuff. If you're, let's say, I'll put you in this position, I guess.
Oh boy.
If I'm like a poppin' makeup artist, have a makeup brand, I got the ins, I got the connections for you, and you're an up and coming makeup artist. You want to get to where I get to. We're friends and all that stuff, and you're like, and I'm like, hey, I got this great makeup deal with this company. They want me to have a partner. Would you love to be in it? And you're like, oh yeah, that'd be great. This and that. But I'm like, well, there's only one thing.
Ew.
You got it. Exactly. There should. I'm not sure if I really don't think there is, but there should be some type
there's
of
something because that's obviously like
but
that's
how.
Well, it's definitely. I feel like it's an HR thing. Like if
I mean, an HR on a business deal, dog. It's
well, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of gray areas. I feel like, but that's not. Say it's in like a normal company position.
yeah, but it wouldn't.
Say it's like the boss is saying that to me who has been working for this promotion for 2 years or something. That I feel like you have a little more leverage than like me if I were like freelancing.
Yeah, but here's the thing. A lot of these, obviously, the company one, sure, but a lot of these are like the actresses are looking
Right.
like trying to get film roles. There's no
yeah,
HR
I
there,
know.
so that's why it's like
Well, there's unions. I don't know if that helps
I
at all.
don't know if they're in a union,
It depends.
and if they are, do they really feel comfortable about saying this?
Yeah,
And,
well,
like,
part of the problem here is the comfort level of saying stuff. Always. Because even there's a lot of rape cases that no one knows about just because someone threatened to kill you if you say something. So you go home and you shower instead of going to the hospital. And the thing is too, you have to endure like the hours long process of getting everything for evidence. Like there's a lot of, it's tricky. It's not so black and white as even if there is something put in place, there's still very much the shame factor and there's the scared, like the fear factor of like, oh, is he going to come after me or something?
yeah,
Because like you're not safe at first, they're still out here on the prowl, and it's like, what if they're watching me? What if they're following me? Like what? There's a lot of what if they put a tracking device in my purse?
It's
like
tough.
there's so many.
Like it's such a gray area.
Yeah,
and it's just like there's no.
It's scary.
I'm just saying for that one-off situation of like these, these actresses, maybe even actors to like get put in a compromising like predicament, I guess you could say, of like, yeah, I got this great role for you, but you gotta do this for me, type of thing. Like that's kind of more so what I'm speaking to, and it's like you can't really. They're not breaking a law. You can't really call the police on them, and it's like,
I know, and it stinks because it's like he said, she said at that point.
Yeah, because you don't have any proof or anything on it. I wonder if this like Harvey Weinstein being sentenced to jail is going to like kind of put everyone back in like, oh man, this is something that can really happen, or if it'll just be like,
Watch, it's gonna blow over. I feel like it's like, oh, cool, he got sentenced. Next one. Because
they got Bill Cosby out of here and Harvey, and it's like, okay,
right.
who else? I'm sure there's other people.
It's definitely slow going, I think.
Like Louis C.K., like he's kind of, they knocked him off his high horse with all his weird stuff he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And to give you his age, he is 67. So yeah,
Oh, wow.
he's not gonna. I don't see him making it for that whole
90.
Sentence. He's
90.
It's pretty much life in jail.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel for all the victims. It's a sucky position to be in, and my next thought. Okay, please let me know if I'm being sensitive with this next thought.
Oh boy.
So I'm not sure if this relates to Harvey or if this was like in general what happens. But if a guy tells you, like, that's in his age, 50s, 60s, whatever, and he's like, oh, I got to finish work up. You can meet me in my penthouse, whatever, and we can continue talking about this. And you're like, okay, cool, because you're not thinking anything of it at the time. It's whatever. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like that's normal. And then this guy comes out and like he's completely naked, and it's just like, yo. But he's not like being the aggressor type. I'm trying to figure out how to go.
Yeah, where are you going with this? Are you trying to say that's okay?
No. Whoa, hold up, buddy. No.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of like, well, yeah, why? I'm trying to like not be offensive with this.
Because you're trying to say what? Just because he didn't actually touch you, that it's okay?
No.
What? Where are you going
nothing's
with this?
okay with it. Hold up. Like, damn. But I'm like,
because you're all like, oh, he's not the aggressor type. So we're like, why?
Because of his older age. But
okay,
I'm like,
and
oh wait, yeah, you kids still get in trouble with that. Because I'm like, I feel like women don't say anything about that, or is it just they're not believed?
Oh, honey, probably. Because again, it's he said, she said.
True. Never mind. It's not too. Yeah.
Like,
I had to work through that in my head. I was like, hold up. Yeah, it's a tricky position to be in. Yeah. I don't know what I would do as a woman in that position. I'm just thinking about these thoughts in my head. Like, don't mind me. I'm just sitting here like, damn, what would I do in that? I'd be like, okay, I'm out.
Good thing you wouldn't be put in that position.
I mean, Terry Crews was put in that, so I mean, anything's possible.
True. The likelihood is less.
It is. It is less.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to talk about that. So, as always, well, for not as always, but in this case, justice was served, even though it wasn't for like the majority of girls. It was just based on the two women that.
Which is BS.
Yeah, but I mean, it's something. It's something. Like, it's not like they gave 5 years and like, yo, here you go, just take these 5 years, you'll be out. Like, he's gonna die there, and I hope he's not like out in like 10 years.
Right?
If he makes it for like good behavior or something. Oh man, guys, it is a light week, as we said, because of the coronavirus. So, sadly, we're gonna have to wrap this bad boy up with a relationship advice topic, but it's a juicy one indeed. What? Do you want to read this one?
Interesting choice of words.
Do you want to read this one?
No, I'm good.
I hate you. So, this one is about this girl that is 26 and her boyfriend that is 22. And she has said that she's faked orgasms.
Okay.
All right. So she goes on to say, I've been with my boyfriend for about a year and have been living with him for 6 months. We are applying for a visa so that I can stay in the UK with him, which means we have to get married, and we are both on board and ready for this. That seems not the greatest idea, but we'll talk about it in a moment. Except I have been faking all of my orgasms. Dun dun dun. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like should be played at the end of that.
And it's like in a movie, she would make some shocked face and they'd zoom in on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now here goes the part that's not so funny.
Oh boy.
Due to some past trauma, I haven't been able to let myself orgasm for anyone.
Damn.
I can by myself pretty easily, so I know it's not hard. It just happened to be. Goddamn.
It just hasn't happened with anyone I've been with because I'm scared about taking too long and them not liking me. I had to stop therapy due to money issues and never get around to that. I never expected our relationship to become so serious, and by the time I realized I wanted something more, our sex life had already been established. I feel so guilty and ashamed, but I love this guy to death and want to make this a lasting and trusting marriage. I just need some help and advice on what to do.
Okay, I'm going to start with the first part. Dog, you're 26, he's 22. I probably wouldn't, like, get married, especially at, like, his young age.
Yeah, but who are we to judge? We moved in when we were that age.
Yeah, but moving in is different.
We got a mortgage when we were that age. That's commitment.
That's different.
That's commitment.
That's different.
Not really.
It's different than marriage.
We were married without a license, like we always said.
I don't think so. It's easy to sell a place.
First of all, not necessarily. And just never mind. All right.
Okay. I just think it's not a good idea. You've only been together for a year, and you're already thinking about marrying this person.
Well, yeah.
And they're 22. Dog, no. If our son was like, yo, I'm going to get married with this girl that's 26 and all that stuff. No. Wait until you're 26. But she'll be 30, Dad. Suck it up. Like, damn.
What's with that voice? But she'll be 30, Dad. Like, how old is he? Damn.
I wouldn't do that. Thoughts? You know, you're for it, right?
No, I get it. I get where you're coming from, because, yeah, I get it. But at the same time, I'm not the person to judge, like, also if people get married sooner. Yes, I think it's smarter to be with the person longer because you do see stuff, and especially living together and all that. But
dog, you're in a honeymoon stage at that time.
Sometimes. Not always necessarily when you're a year in.
What are you trying to say? You're looking at me like I wasn't with you.
Okay.
Wow. That's fine because I'm not with you anyways.
Okay. Do you feel better saying that?
Yeah, it makes me feel real better.
Oh, yeah. Anywho, put your big boy pants on now. Come on. Talk on the podcast. You can do it.
Okay. You're being weird.
Anyways, I feel bad for her because of whatever the trauma is. That part sucks. Like, I thought this was just going to be a typical, like, oh, I fake orgasms kind of, like, post. But that part, that really stinks because
exactly.
that makes it more difficult. It's not like one of those situations where, like, some girls just do it because they're, like, embarrassed or, like, can't or haven't figured out how or whatever. But, like, that stinks.
Now, I'm not sure if these are a thing. I think they are. But I would totally, like, look into a sex therapist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
I'm pretty sure it is, but it's like, yeah, a therapist where I'm sure like you'll meet with them, talk about things, and then like, it'll happen like gradually over time. If you feel comfortable with the person, they'll like help you with that part, I think.
Well, yeah, I think there's physical therapists who specialize in that kind of thing. I don't know if it's the same. I don't know if there's like you go to one for like talk therapy and one is more of the actual thing.
Because I would think,
I don't know.
I'm not sure, but I would think with the sex therapist, I mean, you're going to this person because there's something like happening mentally. So it's like first you want to talk it out, get comfortable with this person, and then be like, we can work on this together, and it'd be like a professional, educational, like setting type of vibe. Yeah. And I feel like that's what you would need, or at least like a therapist to like just work through what's happening.
Yeah, because you're never gonna get there if you don't figure out what's blocking it and like get past that. Because you probably know what's blocking it, but it's still there. And
I would totally bring this up with your boyfriend, even before you get married. Mm-hmm. Because like this is kind of like it's gonna be an issue.
The first red flag is the whole faking thing. Because especially if this is an actual trauma issue, you really shouldn't be faking it, because you should be able to talk to the person about, hey, I can't and this is why, and it sucks, but like this is a part of me and I need to work through it, but just FYI. And like I think more so guys would be understanding of that, more so than like, I think they have a hard time sometimes understanding when girls just can't, or like they can't figure it out, or it's just not like, because guys are always like, oh, what did I do wrong? Is it me? Is it, my dick size? Like, oh, is something wrong? And versus if you have a legitimate like reason that you're like, hey, I had this traumatic experience, and therefore, like, I feel like any guy would just be like, cool. Well, not any guy. There's some terrible people out there, but a good guy would be understanding and be like, oh, like, no, that's cool. Like, as much as I would love you to, and I feel bad if you can't, like, I'm not gonna hold it against you, and I'd love to help you, but I don't, you just tell me how, like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think it would be, if you're in a good relationship, it would be one of those things you could actually talk about, and you don't have to do that. So I feel like now that you've been faking it, you just have to unravel that now too, because the guy's gonna be like, he's gonna feel worse,
and I'm sure, like,
because he's gonna be like, wow, I thought I was doing that all those times.
Like, not to get too detailed on it, but I'm like, like, when it happens, because you're just like, things compress and things get, you know what I'm talking about, guys and girls out there. But it's like, so I'm like, unless this guy's just like hasn't, well, I don't know his status, but I just feel like
compress.
I just feel like this needs to be like talked about. I'm sure he's probably like, oh yeah, I know this. Like, I just don't want to bring it up because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable, depending on what type of guy he is.
That's true.
Because if I saw that, I'm like, I don't know how to bring this up. It's been a year, and I'm not sure how long you guys have been having sex for. So it's like, I don't know. Right.
So like, that's my thing is, I just think in general people shouldn't start faking because it makes bigger issues.
Yeah.
Like, whether you've had trauma or not, it'll just it's like lying. It essentially is lying, and it's like, so then eventually, it gets found out, and then it has to unravel, and you have to explain, and then the guy feels bad, and it's a whole thing.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like we both want the same thing. Like, we both want to get off here. Like, if you're going to make the guy feel like, damn, I'm not doing my part, and it's like, hopefully he wants to do whatever's possible to make sure that it happens for you. I'm trying to be so PG with this.
So awkward.
I'm trying to be so PG, but yeah. Yeah.
Just listen to a Meg Thee Stallion song. Hopefully he wants to do all that.
Yeah, listen to Captain Hook on her new project, Sugar.
Yeah, as long as he does all that. At least if he tries.
I mean, a lot of Megan's things are just like, eat me out with no penetration. So
okay, I wasn't gonna say it.
I'm just saying. I mean, might as well go all rated R. Like, shoot. But that's what I'm thinking for your situation.
Yeah.
And I would not marry someone just yet. I would work through this for like the next year or two.
Well, yeah, clearly you got things to work through. The things that stinks is their time frame, like, because she needs a visa or whatever. Like, that's the only problem.
Oh, well.
So
looks like you're gonna be making back and forth trips.
Yeah, it would help if we knew, like, what was the distance before.
Man, she's probably in the U.S.
I don't know.
Probably not yet. I mean, you need a visa, so most likely U.S. or Canada. Let's be real.
She needs a visa to be in the U.K.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's probably from the U.S.
Why?
or Canada. Because where else would she be coming from that she wants to stay in the U.K.?
I don't know, dude, but that's so...
Dog, I'm going to fight you.
What did she get from Australia?
She didn't say mate or a anywhere in that.
Oh my gosh. All right. All right, dude.
All right. So I think we made it a good... Oh, God. The mic is just sticking to my face. I think we made it a good distance without talking about the coronavirus.
Let's play a drinking game. How many times did we say it in this episode? You're probably drunk. Even though we didn't talk about it that much, we still talked about it a little bit.
I mean, you might as well just play a drinking game of how many times you're going to see it during a regular work day.
We would die from alcohol poisoning.
Yeah. All right, guys. With that being said, we hope to continue to bring this virus-free entertainment for the coming weeks.
Good Lord, I hope so.
Man, as always, we want to know your thoughts. Any questions, comments, concerns, all that good stuff. Please send us a voice message on anchor.fm. We would love to play it on this episode. If you have any things you want to send us through email, PagingTheSimpsons@gmail.com. You could hit us there. That would be great. Amazing. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, or even if you are not, please take a quick moment, go on iTunes or go on whatever you're listening to us on, Google Podcasts, whatever else you can rate us on, and give us 5 stars. It is
5 stars, 5 stars.
It is definitely appreciated. Yeah. With that being said, guys, we'll be back. We'll be healthy. I'm putting things out in the air,
Yes.
Good things.
Good things in the air.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
Oh wait, hold up. I forgot one thing.
Never mind.
I'm
I take
Shadell.
it back.
I'm Shadell here.
I'm Lauren.
Okay? Now, we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Bye.
Peace out.